Assalamu alaikum, peace be with us, peace be with you, peace be with you. It's Imam Makram, el-amin. We are just logging on a couple minutes ahead of time before our 10 a.m. start, allowing people to come on and join in. So please join. I look forward to engaging with you for our last Find Your Gift monthly coaching session of 2024. We're excited to come to you to share some things, to hear from you, engage. So we are going to start in just a couple of minutes. So come on in. Please share a link, if you could, to those who could benefit. And we look forward to engaging you shortly. So give me just a few moments to get all ready to go. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be starting very soon. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We are starting in about 1 minute. 1 minute. Thank you for joining us this morning. Welcome, welcome. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum. All right, all right. It's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, straight up and down. As promised, we will begin our monthly Find Your Gift coaching session, a group coaching session. Today is a year-end reflection, as well as how do we welcome in 2025. First of all, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, with God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. My name is Imam Makram, el-amin, and I am excited to be with you as always. I thank you, those of you who are joining today, but also those who have joined for the monthly sessions that we've done all throughout 2024, especially during the month of Ramadan, where we do our 30 and 30. Those who have been with us since that time, and we've been trying to be consistent and putting out content and etc. But again, this has been a journey and a learning process for all of us, and I'm just really excited, but really more so than excited, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of you who have stayed with us, who have helped, who have contributed, who have engaged in this process. You know, this idea of faith-based self-development is not an easy journey to be on. It's challenging at times, but for those who have stood the course, for those who have been consistent, for those who have engaged, for those who made a commitment to themselves and came into the Find Your Gift space in a way that allowed you to be more authentic. If we helped you in any way, if you benefit in any way, first of all blessings, all goodness is from God. And so we don't take any credit for that. But if we help to facilitate that in any way, we're grateful. We're grateful to serve. Our role here is as a servant. We want to serve those who we love, and we love people. We love human beings. We love to see people advancing. We love to see people make progress and strides and really overcome burdens and struggles that they might be experiencing as well. So we are excited. I mean, super, super excited about how we approach this year. We've covered so many different topics, everything from anxiety to building momentum in your life to grief and loss, and how you turn losses into lessons. And just so many different things. Building a legacy. What does it mean to have legacy, right? All these kinds of things. Building a team around you. We've talked about so many different topics throughout this year of 2024. And accompany that with other writings and blogs and other things we do on social media. By the way, we definitely want to invite you all to join us. We have a new platform, Substack, which is a writer's platform for those who blog and write. I'm switching to Substack. I think it's a better fit for me personally, just in terms of my style of writing and the blogs, the daily reminders, the Monday motivations that we do. So please join me on Substack, and you can find me at Imam Makram at substack.com. We'll put that in the comments before we leave, but please join us at Substack too for daily notes, motivation, reminders, blog posts, etc. And it's a free version. It's also a subscribed version. We welcome both. In fact, we would encourage those to subscribe. It's $8 a month to do that. To help us to continue to consistently put out, the information that we do, but we try to make it low cost, a low barrier. And we're even moving from the Kajabi platform over to Substack for those who are in the coaching session to really make it a little more manageable for folks to do. So more about that as we go along, but join me on Substack. We have things coming out almost on a daily basis, videos, blog posts, podcasts. We got reviews of some of the things that we're doing on video and others. So lots and lots of content that we are having. So we're, again, excited about 2020, the end of 2024, but also the beginning of 2025. How do we welcome this new year in? How do we start off on the right foot? How do we make certain that we carry forth the things that are working for us, that are benefiting from, that we're benefiting from? How do we make sure we're carrying those things forward in 2025 and we are not leaving those things? But also, how are we departing from things that are not serving us, right? Things that are not serving us. So today I want this session to be a little interactive. So I'm going to ask you to engage, to pop some things in the comments if you would indulge me a little bit. I think we can get a lot out of this, but I wanted to begin just by reflecting on, asking God, Almighty God. We say Allah as Muslims, asking God, the Creator, to bless our journey, to bless us on our journey of self-development and positive growth. And we say, oh, our Lord, accept this service from us, for you are the all-hearing and the all-knowing. This is something that we're doing to towards service to God. When you improve yourself, when you're working to be a better version of yourself, something that God will be pleased with, then this is worship. This is an idea of servitude. You're bringing yourself to God. So we're asking God to accept our efforts, right? So find your gift. The platform is faith-based self-development. We don't think that we don't have the power or capacity or ability to do anything without God. We are unapologetic about that. We are not bashful about saying that, but we try to express ourselves in a way that others, even of other traditions and others, can benefit and find value in what we say. But this is a faith-based, platform for self-development, growth, advancement, etc. So we are looking very, very diligently at the tools that we can pick out from our traditions that will allow us to grow, that allow us to advance, to allow us to make progress in life, to allow us to really and truly make progress in life. So we begin with that prayer, that dua, that reflection, asking God to accept our service, from us. But I'm on a quick personal note. I'm doing some self-inventory at the end of this year, trying to get myself into a better state of health. I'm trying to improve my health and grow in that regard. So I met with a practitioner, and I'll come to the point very quickly. And before we sat down, and there's some holistic approaches to health and medicine and wellness and some things. There was a thing that she asked me that I thought was so important, right? And I'm gonna change it slightly, but I'm gonna ask you all a very similar question. She asked me about my health. She said, first of all, she said, before we get into all the methods and all the strategies and all the tactics that we're going to do to help get you healthy and do all the things to your optimal health, right? Before we do all of that, I have to ask, do you believe that you can be healthy? Do you believe your health can be restored at an optimal level? Do you believe it? Do you believe it? And I thought about it. I reflected on it for a while. I said, yes, I do believe it. Yes, I do. So whatever ailments from a health perspective that are ailing me, that I'm going through, my tradition says, Islam says to me that for every disease, for every illness, there's a cure. The only thing there's no cure for is death. We all are going to die at some time. We're all are going to leave this life. We're all are going to have an expiration date, whether we have to return back to our Creator. But all the ailments and things that happen to us in life, there is a cure for them. So when she asked me that question, did I believe? Did I believe? And she was centering, all the work we were going to do it based on a premise of belief that I believe fully. I'm confident and fully in my belief that I can improve. I can improve my health. I can improve my life. So I ask you all, those who are joining me today for this last coaching session of the year for Find Your Gift. We're not ending, we're just ending the year. So I just want to be clear about that, right? But the idea here is to say is a couple of grounding questions about yourself. Because, I think all of our actions are going to follow a belief. We can say we believe one thing, but our actions show us something else. And the actions will be a truer reflection about what we actually believe. Okay. What we actually believe. Right. So, when you think about 2024, think about this year, just a reflection. We're going to reflect back and then we're going to move forward, God willing. Right. What did you believe about yourself in 2024? What did you believe about yourself? For a few brave souls who want to engage me, if you want to drop a word or a phrase or a sentence or whatever you want to drop in the comments, that would be wonderful to do. But I want to start with, because before I give you some of the takeaways, the key points here, we really have to start about what you believe. What you believe. That's critically important, because a lot of the other things, the efforts that we attempt to do, they won't really take if we don't fundamentally believe them. So I'm asking you first just to reflect back. What did you Or no, let me change this. I'm gonna own this a little more. What did I believe about myself in 2024? What did I believe about myself? Right? And how did my beliefs influence my actions? What did I believe about myself in 2024? And how did my beliefs influence my actions? Again, there is a direct correlation between what you believe and what you do. What you believe and what you do is these things are tied together. They're really married. They're really married, right? So the idea that you believe something that you don't act on, you don't do, that doesn't really jive in faith traditions. That doesn't jive. That's inconsistent, right? So we first have to start from a place about what we believe. And in this specific case is, what did I believe about myself? Did I believe I was worthy? Did I believe that I was lovable and valuable and important? What did you believe? What did I believe about myself? I want you to ask yourself this particular question and really dive into this. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, because again, when we're talking about this issue of self-development, there's a level of vulnerability that is necessary. It is a necessary vulnerability that has to happen, right? And some of you are joining us from the beginning. You haven't really engaged with us. No, so be it. Some of you have been here for time and time, months after month. Alhamdulillah, no problem with that either. But just know that in the journey of self-development, there is a level of vulnerability that is necessary, meaning you can't even engage. It's a non-starter to not be willing to be a little vulnerable about yourself, about what you're thinking, about what you're feeling, about what's inside, what's motivating you, what do you believe, right? So the question is, what did I believe about myself in 2024, and how did my beliefs influence my actions? Yes. We have one comment says, I believe that all things are possible through Allah, and my actions displayed through my behavior. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So this idea that all things are possible, right? My capacity is expanded through the capacity that God has to not be limited by anything. So if it's humanly possible, I can achieve that thing. So we should be able to, if that is a founding or grounding belief that we have, we should be able to look back and think about, how did that belief influence or affect our actions? How did that belief influence and affect our actions, though? Because if we believed it, there should be proof. There should be clues. There should be clues, things that have been left in our path to say, you can point to that. You can say, okay, that I believe that's so that I did that thing because, et cetera, et cetera. Point to those things, call those things out within yourself, right? Because whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. We all have human experiences. We all have human experience. We all going through things, and for some, this has been a very tough year. It's been a very tough year for myself personally, for my family and others. We've lost, we've grieved. We did lots of different things we talked about before, and we'll share even more as we go on. But nonetheless, it comes down to us as far as what we do. It ties back to what we believe. What do we believe, right? So I'm going to go back to the question. What did I believe about myself in 2024? And how did my belief influence my actions? How did my belief influence my actions? Belief influences actions. There's no other way about that. There's no other way about that. There's no way of getting around that, right? Next question. What do I believe I deserve in life? What do I believe I deserve in life? A lot of times when we are thinking about, making the next step or endeavoring into a new space, whether it's, changing a career or starting a new relationship or starting a business or whatever we're trying to get done, we look at these things from a perspective of, whether we do it or ultimately not do it, is really a value statement, like what I think I deserve. What do I think I deserve? Right. So if I think I deserve, to be my optimum health, then that means I deserve to eat better quality food. I deserve rest. I deserve to devote time to my exercise. I deserve that because I believe I'm valuable. I believe I'm important enough, right? So my actions should be a reflection of that. So it's what I believe about myself and what do I think I deserve in life? What do I think I deserve in life, right? God says that he has created the human person in the most excellent form. You were created excellent, an excellent constitution. You were made well. We were made well, right? So we have this predisposition for the in our tradition, our faith tradition, Islam, that we were good. We were made good, and to experience the goodness of life and the fullness of life, right? We deserve that because God made that for us, right? But the issue is we have to own that belief. We have to own that idea in our own selves, right? And the last question for this moment, am I willing to take the necessary steps to improve? We start with, what do you believe? How do those beliefs influence your actions? What do you believe you deserve? And what are you willing to do to improve? Are you willing to take the necessary steps? Yeah. I had a teacher one time who would say, you know, at the beginning of the class or the semester, there was who wants to get an A? We'd all raise our hands. We want to get an A. We want to get this good grade, et cetera, et cetera. And then she would check in with us as the class or the semester is going on, and do a check-in on our grades. And sometimes some of us had C's, some of us had less than C's, some of us had all kinds of things. And she said, you said you wanted an A, but your effort is only a C. So really and truly, you want to see, you're saying something here that is not in here. So she was pointing out a discrepancy, in which I'm calling out right now, that sometimes we have discrepancies. We have discrepancies in what we say here and what's inside of us here. Now, some of this is the human condition. We have inconsistencies. Sometimes there are gaps in terms of our levels of commitment and so on and so forth. But our work here and Find Your Gift, our work here is to close the gaps. Our work here is, if we have an ideal self and we're here, is to close the gap. That's what we are attempting to do spiritually, intellectually, physically, etc. Right? We're trying to close the gaps between what we profess, but what's ultimately inside of here. Right? But there are discrepancies, and coaches, if they're good, if you have a good coach working with you, they will point out your discrepancies, the things that you're professing and the things that you are demonstrating, or the actions that you're showing. Okay. So we go back to the grounding questions of the day, right? What did I believe about myself in 2024? And how did those beliefs influence my actions? What do I deserve in my life? And am I willing to take the necessary steps to improve? These are all grounding, fundamental questions. Before we even get into strategy, tactic. Okay, we're going to do this. You're going to take this step. This is how you do. These are some of the other things, right? We have to first be grounded in some things. And I think that this is very, very important. Sometimes we jump into the work very quickly and we haven't even set our commitment. We haven't assessed, how committed am I to this thing? I'm just doing a lot of activity, but in my heart of hearts, I don't really believe that I'm going to improve. I don't believe I'm worthy of this. I don't believe that. And sometimes, man, the world has a way of really just beating us up. Beats us up to such a degree that we think we are not worthy. So our actions, we play down, we play small in life. We play small, we play timid, You know, we have a bigger voice than what we're showing. We actually have ideas that could improve the world that we're too afraid or too timid to put out there because we just don't feel like we're worthy of that thing. I'm saying this year should be your breakthrough year. It should be a breakthrough year. Some of you have already been breaking through. Some of you have already been taking strides, and I want to commend you. I want to make certain that we celebrate successes. That's one thing that sometimes we don't do enough of. The celebration of a success, that small milestone that happens as you go along. That's very, very critical in self-development. Very critical. It's very good in religious perspective as well. You have to celebrate the small things. Celebrate those things, right? So there are a couple things that I want to, as we start to ground yourselves, and thank you for those who have commented. Oh, another comment. I believe I deserve everything I receive, and everything is a blessing. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yes. Alhamdulillah. Right. And another is, I believe my actions need to be improved by sacrificing my wants versus my needs. Learn to discipline with daily actions, not looking for perfections, but to show progress. Phenomenal. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So this idea here is about saying, you know, we strive for perfection. We strive for excellence. Yes, we do, right? But really in the space of self-development, it's really progress over perfection. Right? There'll never be a day where you'll be so good at everything that you do that there's no room for improvement. And self-improvement is not a linear path. You don't just go up, 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 and without any sort of pitfalls or down setbacks and all those kinds. No, these things are going to happen through the course of life. So don't be disillusioned about that. Don't be disillusioned about that, right? But the idea here is what we're saying is that what we want to see is steadily progressing towards goals. And let me tell you one thing about goals. Goals are not to be kept in some secret vault or some journal buried under all your dirty clothes somewhere, right? No, if you have a goal that you're committed to, you got to put it out there. Now, it's not necessarily for everyone, but someone should know it. And if you don't have anyone that you are comfortable sharing your goals and your dreams and your aspirations with, well, then part of your goal is to be to build that community like here and Find Your Gift, so that you feel comfortable enough stating your goals. And we're not so insecure that we think you're bragging. We're not so insecure that we think that you're full of yourself. No, we're saying this is a striving person right here. This is a striving person right here. This is someone who is actually they out here about this work out here, right? And what that does is, as a community, we rally behind you and we support you. We put go. And if you have a weak moment or a setback, you talk to your community. You don't talk to the naysayers. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Right? We'll open up our vulnerable space to people who don't mean us any good. No, that's craziness. No. You find safe spaces and community, your people. Find Your Gift is a space to where you find your people. When I say your people, I'm saying people who with you, people who are going to be supportive of you, right? We have a Facebook group, Find Your Gift Facebook group with the same logo, right? I'm inviting you all to come and join us over there as well as to subscribe to Substack, so you can get the information, so you can get those reminders. Let us prompt you. Let us give you that reminder. Let us ask you that question. Let us give you that 3-minute read, that 4-minute read for you to focus on, you to reflect, you to respond back to, and let you walk with that for the day. Let us support you that way. Let us support you in that way, right? Don't give yourself over to negativity. But the way that you ensure that doesn't happen is you build a community, or you join a community. And this is what we are inviting you to here. Find Your Gift. Join our community. This community don't have to be thousands of people large. If I got 10 people who's committed to working with, listen, we will pour into them like they have not been poured into before. We will share things. We will work with it. We will talk. We will have engagement. We will provide opportunities for people to express themselves and also to contribute to the conversation. Why? Because we're a community. It's because we're a community, right? So a couple things that I want to take us through, because our time is going to get spent very quickly, and I got several things I need to drop with you today. Okay. There's a guiding principles for us in our tradition of Islam, and it's belief in one's potential. First of all, you have to believe in your potential. You have potential. You have things that are in you, that are like seeds in you waiting to come out. Now, how they come out? So, it's not always, a nice, or what we think about a pleasant situation. Sometimes you got to go through things to get to other things. Sometimes you got to experience a hardship or a burden, or you have to go through some trial in your life. You got to deal with something. Sometimes you have to deal with something and go through things in order to get to other things. So don't be afraid to go through things. Don't be afraid to have to get through things. Don't be afraid of that, have that flight mentality. Anytime something gets hard, I want to run away. No, that's really the opportunity for you to get to the next level. It's that opportunity to get for the next level, right? Some of you experienced some very hard things this year. But guess what? You're here. You're here, though. You could have been anywhere in the world at this time, but you're here. And you're alive. And you can breathe the fresh air. You can benefit from the all of the things in nature and creation and all those things. You are here. So be present. You're here. So be present, right? But there you have potential. God says to us in our tradition, he says, indeed, God, Allah, will never change the condition of a people until they first change what is within themselves. God does not change your condition until you change something that is within yourself. Okay? Let's unpack this for a moment. Right? So this idea of God doesn't change our condition until we change something that was in us, right? So this squarely puts our destiny in our hands. You're waiting for something to fall out the sky, and then you're going to miraculously be changed. That is a complete fallacy. That's false. That's a falsehood. That's a false. God says, when you change something within you, then the whole environment, the world change, your spirit change, your thinking changes, right? Physically you change, but first something within you has to change. This puts squarely the destiny for the human person in their hands. So there's no blaming. We take away the blame. We take away the idea of pointing, well, it was because of this it's because of that I couldn't achieve. It was because of this No. We take away all the excuses. All the excuses are taken away. You change something within you, then let God show you his transformative power of changing your whole reality. It will change your life, but it started with you changing something within your own self. So this happens in both positively and negatively. This happens most positively and negatively, right? So what do I mean by that? That means if you're in a good space, things are going well, business is booming, relationship is at an all-time high, right? You're in school, or you're whatever, right? Things are going well, whatever that means for you, right? Then you change something in you. You stop doing something that you were doing. You move away from a commitment that you had. You become less resolved upon something that you have firm convictions for at one time or another. You move away. You changed. Then you will see things around you start to change. So that's from a positive to a negative. We understand from negative to positive, but I want to also set that up positive, because some of us are doing well. Some of you are doing well. If you're doing well in life, you feel like you're blessed and you're doing well, put blessed in the comment. Just put blessed in the comment, right? Some of us are blessed. Some of us are blessed and we're doing well, right? Well, that blessings, that idea that we're doing well in life right now, those things don't change unless you change. Those things won't change unless you change, right? Some of us are not doing well. Some of us are struggling right now. If that is your state in this moment, it's not your identity, it's your state right now. If that is your state, that you are struggling right now, I want you to put struggle in the comment. Struggle. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Don't be timid. Coaching section, we family here. It's all good. It's all good. But if you're going through some things and you consider yourself to be struggling at this moment, put struggle in there, right? And let me tell you, for those who feel that they're struggling in this moment, the same rule applies to you. You have to change something within yourself, and then God will change all things in your life. He will change things in your life. He will improve things in your life. He will make it so that you are in a space to where, yes, you were struggling at one time, but now you are in a space to where you're feeling some blessing, you're feeling some things begin to turn. But that only happens when you change something within yourself. Within yourself. So it goes from positive to negative, and they go from negative to also positive as well, right? So again, I wanted you to understand that, and God says, and a part of our belief system here is God is the source of all sustenance and help, right? So you can't get this on your own. You can't get this on your own, man, right? And you have, so if you find something good, God is the source of those things, right? So we're talking about self-improvement. We're talking about how we're reflecting on 2024 and how do we carry forth? How do we carry forth something and welcome in 2025, right? God says that He's the one, He sustains us. Arazak is one of His names, called the sustainer. We believe He provides for us all. He provides all things. So we don't have this idea of scarcity. Let me tell you about scarcity. Scarcity is the mindset that there's not enough, or I don't have enough, or I'm deficient in some way. That we don't operate. High performers, those people of faith who are trying to be high performers, we don't operate from a scarcity mindset. There's not enough, or we're not enough, right? No. We operate from not scarcity, but abundance. There's more than enough. I have all that I need, right? That's a completely different paradigm. It's a completely different mindset, right? One is scarcity. That's one who is lacking something. But we have an abundance. That's the one who has more than what they need. And it's really about us realizing or coming to realize these things that we have already at our disposal, already that is within us, like the saying that God doesn't change something or a condition of a people until they first change what's within themselves. That's seeing yourself in an abundant way. I have what it takes in me. Even my conversation with you right now today, I'm not trying to give you something that you don't have. I'm trying to awaken something that is already in you. I said, oh, he's giving us something I didn't. No. I'm trying to make you remember things, whether it's in your mind or genetically or just intrinsically, right? I'm trying to wake up something in you so that you can stand up and be the person that God made us all to be, right? I'm not giving you anything. I'm reminding you of your excellence. I'm not coming with you trying to just pour, because sometimes that's the idea. Like, I need somebody to do some things. No. You need situations, you need circumstances, you need experiences, you need support in your life to bring out all the goodness that God has put into you. So let us continue. We acknowledge your success and shortcomings. I said this before. Good things and bad to happen. God says, if I acknowledge the good things that have happened for me, God says, and if I do it with a sense and spirit of gratitude, God said, if you are grateful, I will give you more. This is in our book. If you are grateful, I will give you more. I will increase you, right? So we reflect on areas that when we have done well, and we show gratitude to God. That means prayer. That means reflection. That means giving in charity. That means sharing our gifts. Whatever that means in your way, that means all of these things, right? So if you have been blessed, then you need to also be a blessing. If you've been blessed, then be a blessing to someone else, right? So, and if you're grateful with what God has put into you, then He will increase you. He will increase you. Gratitude is the key to abundance. Be grateful, you get more. Be grateful, you will get more. One of the attributes of God, we believe, is Ar-Rahman. He's the most merciful. He gives us all the benefits. He takes care of all of our needs. He does, and He allows us to even have the ability that once we have lost our way, to find our way again, right? He has the ability to restore us and the whole life. So don't think your situation is hopeless. Hopelessness is faithlessness. Hopelessness is faithlessness. Let us work hard to lose hope, because that translates that I don't believe. I don't believe I can improve. When God says it's really in you. It's really about what you do, right? So let us think about 2025. 2025. We've reflected a lot. And, we first have to reaffirm our beliefs and our ability that we believe that we have the ability to achieve great things. I believe that I can do it. I believe absolutely that I can achieve great things, right? God said, but through it, but how do I do this? First of all, God says, so be patient, because God's promise is true. His promise is true. Everyone that you know will let you down at some point in time, except for God. So He says, be patient, because His promise is true. Be patient, right? People think patience is idleness. I'm here to correct that today. Patience is not being idle, like sitting down and waiting. No, patience is working hard every day, but managing my expectation that God will show me the victory in time. But I still work hard every single day. I'm not waiting on something. Stop waiting on life to happen and make life happen for you. Stop waiting on things to happen for you. I'm just waiting on this thing to happen. I'm waiting for this thing to fall out the sky. I'm going to wake up one morning and all things are going to be changed. No, that's a fallacy. You're daydreaming. In fact, it's really going to get nightmarish after a while, because nothing's going to change for you. In fact, things will likely even get worse for you. So my point here is, don't wait for things to happen. Let's make things happen. God is with you. So make things happen, right? Set clear goals. So patience. You're talking about key steps for 2025. I'm giving key steps. The first one is to be patient, not idle. When I say patience, I'm talking about managing your expectations. God will take care of me in time. I just have to be consistent about what I'm doing, okay? Set goals. Set clear goals. Align with your faith. See, we don't set goals that are against our values. That's corruption. That's corruption. That's evil doing. Right? No, set a goal that's in line with the best values that you have as a person. Okay? Set those goals and make sure that when I say align with values, I mean something that I don't have as a goal in my life, something that would displease God. So we have to understand that, right? Because if we do, God won't bless that. He won't bless that. whatever that thing is. I don't care how many resources you align with it. I don't care, how many things you try to, throw at it. It won't bear the fruit that you think it will for yourself. So set clear goals that align yourself in faith, and understand that, as it said, and from the prophet, peace be upon him, he said, the most beloved deeds to Allah are those things that are done consistently, even if they are small things. He said, God loves consistent acts. Be consistent. Set a goal, be consistent. And part of being consistent is not to overwhelm yourself out the gate. Start with something small and allow yourself to grow into it, whatever your goal might be. This is another key. Patience is one. Clear goals with consistency. It's two. The third one, these are keys for success. Keys for success in 2025. Cultivate gratitude. Say a daily prayer for gratitude. Journal about what you're thankful for in the morning or at night. Talk to people about what is going well in your life. Don't allow the things that are troubling you to consume you. You got to speak light in those things. You got to speak positivity in those things. So journal about what is going well for you. What's going well for you? And do it in a way that's appreciative and show gratitude. God, one of God's name is Shakur. He is the one who appreciates. He appreciates small acts of goodness. Doing something for yourself to improve yourself, that's an act of goodness. In fact, that's a big act of goodness. But be consistent at it. Be consistent. So cultivate gratitude, right? The fourth pillar, the fourth key is build your connections. Strengthen your connections. You got to strengthen your connection. You got to find a community. I'm coming back to find your gift again, right? You have to find a supportive community. And when you find that supportive community, you have to participate in that community. You can't come to the community to extract from the community without pouring into the community. This is a reciprocal situation. See, some they come as extractors, right? They just want to take. They want to use and without any sort of commitment to it. Well, that's that same old deficit scarcity mindset. No, it says, yes, I need something from this community, but I also have something to contribute to the community. Find good connections. Find your gift as that connection for you. Join our community, Facebook community. Join us on Substack. Join the many events that we're going to have. Build a community of supportive people around you. That's how you're going to make the next steps in your life. No magnificent, no meaningful thing historically in the history of man, in the history of humanity, was done alone. Tell me something that's worthy, that's something noteworthy that was done in historically speaking, and I will show you have multiple people contributed to that thing. It wasn't just one person. Don't be the Lone Ranger. Don't be that person, right? So strengthen the community. God says that the believers are but a single brotherhood and sisterhood. Right? We want to develop brotherhood and sisterhood and community. That's how we advance. Most times when you're going through something, you're in that dark space in your mind or in your heart, in your spirit. Sometimes our tendency is to isolate. We have a tendency to isolate. I want to be alone. I don't want to be social. I want to be antisocial. I want to check out of certain things. Why? Why do we want to do that? Because we have been convinced that nobody understands. Nobody will get me. Nobody feels my pain. These are mind tricks. These are mind tricks, right? So yes, you might not be in a situation or in an environment where people can fully support you during the trials you're going through. That just means you need different people. That just means you need a different community. That doesn't mean that nobody, there are 8 billion people on the earth today. I want you to think about this for a moment. There are over 8 billion people on the earth. Do you mean to tell me that nobody understands what you're going through? That nobody has experienced loss or grieved or some setback in your life? So nobody has experienced this before? I think that's highly unlikely. You haven't found your people yet. But there's a community out there for you. And I'm inviting you into the Find Your Gift community, because I think that we can be that community support. But don't come just to extract. Come to get what you need, but come to make a contribution. Then we will be a true community, right? And the 5th pillar of this idea of how we're going to make progress in 2025 is the idea of being resilient and adaptable. Be resilient and be adaptable, right? There are going to be some pitfalls in your life. Sometimes God is going to test us. He's going to test us sometimes, but he says he tests those who he loves. He tests those who he loves. So we have to have ability to be resilient. The ability to be resilient, the ability to be adaptable. So when you're looking at life, when things are happening, when circumstances change, we need to have the ability to look and assess what's going on and adapt to that change. You have to have the ability to do that. Don't say, well, I always did it this way. This has always been the way. I've always done this, et cetera, et cetera. Then that's not being adaptable. In this world that we're living in, it's adapt or die. Listen carefully. Adapt or die. Everything that we know adapts. It adapts to weather. We adapt to seasons. We adapt to life circumstances. You have to have the ability and the willingness to adapt, meaning to change, to alter, to modify, etc. You have to have the ability and willingness to do this. So resilience and adaptability in 2025 will lead the way. It will lead the way for you, right? So let us recap these five pillars for success in 2025. Reaffirm your belief. We started with, what do you believe? What do you believe? Right? Setting clear goals aligned with faith. Cultivating gratitude and positivity. This is so key. You have to put out in the atmosphere, God, I am grateful for this. I am grateful for this in my life. You say that, affirm that, put it out in the universe so the universe can give it back to you. Put positivity out so you can give it back. Don't just spew ugliness, hurt, disappointment, etc. out and think you're going to get, nurturing and positivity. But no, put out goodness so you can get goodness. Put out positivity, put out gratitude so you can receive it. These things work hand in hand. We forget these things. I know. It's hard. I know. But that's why you need a community. You need your people. Find your gift. We are your people. We are your people. God says he does not burden a soul beyond their capacity to bear. God would not put something on you greater than you have the capacity to bear. I want you to sit with that for a moment. God says he would not put something on us greater than we have the capacity to bear. But newsflash, we will put something on ourselves greater than we have the capacity to bear. We will try to take on too much. We will try to just handle it all on our own. We will isolate. We will go in that dark place in our mind with no light. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. We're just the blind leading the blind. We will try to do all these things that God don't want us to do. He don't want us to be in that bad situation, right? So he says to us, He does not put a burden on us greater than we have the capacity to bear. So whatever burden that you're bearing right now, whatever thing that's weighing on you right now, you have the ability and capability to come through that thing and be successful. God wouldn't put something on you that you couldn't do. He wouldn't put something on you greater than you have the capacity to bear. He wouldn't do that to us. So what do we want to do? How do we want to end? How do we want to, step into 2025 in a very positive way and welcome it in? A couple things. I'm asking you to subscribe to Imam Makram at Substack. That's where you're going to get our blogs, our daily notes and reminders. That's where you're going to get some of our writings about things. We'll share videos there. Podcasts are all also posted there as well. So you can get lots and lots of content there. I've switched over to Substack because I think it's a better platform for myself. If you have that, or you can direct message me, I'll send you the link to it. It's not a problem at all. But subscribe to that so we can feed you on a daily basis. There's a free version and there's also a subscribe version. It's just $8 a month. We're asking for contributions for that to subscribe. We would really appreciate your subscription. That only helps us to produce more and more content over the cost of time. And we try to keep it very, very low cost at $8 a month to make it easy and manageable for everyone. But subscribe, Imam Makram at Substack.com, right? Join the Find Your Gift Facebook community group. There's a Find Your Gift group, but to get in, there's some questions you have to ask. We want to know what your intention is. This is not a general Facebook group. This is those who are going to be committed to self-improvement, to build, to be inside of a community. We're pivoting from Kajabi to a Facebook platform that'll be a little bit easier for us to manage. Okay, so Find Your Gift has a Facebook group. That's where you find community at, right? And connect with us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, or X now, I guess, right? TikTok, forever long TikTok is around. They're saying that might go away too. But the @Imam Makram across all those platforms, you'll find me. You will find me. YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes, we have over 160 videos on YouTube right now. All types of content, all types of things, short things, longer form, version form things, etc. There's a lot that is there and that we think that you can benefit from. So across all platforms, including YouTube, subscribe to us. But I also, at the end of the day, I want you to challenge yourself in setting some goals for yourself. Setting some goals for yourself, right? And I want you to do that. I want you to let us know how we can support you. Let us know how we can support you. But in order to do that, you got to join the Find Your Gift, because we want to talk about this in community. There are going to be some lives on a more frequent basis inside the community page, where we're going to talk about things. We're going to take a subject. It might be 10, 15 minutes. We're going to go hard in on a subject and drop some jewels on that, give some key points, give some strategy around that, and then we'll move on to something else. That is for those who join the community, though, right? But so on Substack, Imam Makram at Substack, and Find Your Gift community on Facebook. That's a special page that we have created. Make sure that you answer all the prompts. Otherwise, you would not be admitted into the group, into the community. This is very important. And even for those that are in the community now, we're really going to require more engagement as we step up. I would rather have a small yet actively engaged community than a large number but inactive people in the community. We don't want inactivity. We want engagement. So smaller but engaged is really more ideal for me. So if that's you and you're willing to engage on those deal points, then we want to see you. We want to be with you. My dear people, as I leave you today, I want you to think about one major area that you want to improve in. Just think of one major area that you want to improve in. You say, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to start a career. I want to start my business. I want to have a new relationship. I want to go to the gym. I want to do, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of things we could do. I'm asking you as your coach, I want you to pick one thing. We're going to, and I'm going to help you go deep on that thing. We're going to go deep on that thing, and we're going to focus in on that thing so we can see some progress there. And as we build momentum there, then we'll move to another thing, right? We want to be more focused. We want to be more methodical. We want to be more intentional this year. We want to be more intentional. Stop being spaced out all over the place. 1 minute you're this, next minute you're that. That's a losing proposition. No one wins with that. No one wins with that. Right. So I want you to put together a goal, but I want you to figure out what's this one area that I want to focus in right now. What's the area that needs the most attention in my life? And I need support around. I need a supportive community to be around to help me in this one area of my life. What is that? What is that space for you? What is that space for you? When you find that, you let us know. You come into the group, you accept the conditions to be in the group. Let's talk about that. And believe you, most things, we have content, we have information, we have lots of things that we can share with you. And we want you to be a part of this community. We don't want you, this time next year, at the end of 2025, you're saying what you wish you would have done. What you could have done, the things that have got by you, the things that have left you, the opportunities that have slipped through your fingers, et cetera, et cetera. Later for that, we're not those people. We're seizing the moment. We're seizing the opportunity. Okay, we're seizing it. Intentions, actions, and beliefs we want to be in alignment in 2025. Let me repeat that. We want to align intentions, actions, and belief in 2025. That's what we're trying to get done here. Intentions, actions, belief. We want them all in alignment. We don't want them all disjointed all over there. Let's get them in alignment. When we get them in alignment, you will see progress in your life. You will see progress in that area of focus. You will see that. I pray to God that this session was helpful for you, and it was helpful for me. And as we close out this year of 2024, what I'm asking, we're asking God to bless us. We're asking God to increase us. We're asking God to guide us on this journey of self-improvement. We're asking God to give us the best in this world and the best in the next life, and to protect us from the torment of the fire. We're asking God to help us continue our commitment to personal growth. We're asking God to help us to stay engaged with a community, a supportive community. We're asking God not for big numbers only. We want engaged activity, even if the numbers are small. That's a win for us. That's a success. I would rather have 10 engaged people. 10 engaged people as opposed to 100 non-engaged people. Give me 10 and we will do some things. So with that, my dear people, I wish you the best. I pray that your year ends well and 2025 begins well and sustained well with you. Please join our community. Subscribe to us on Substack. Get the information, the free giveaways, a lot of the other things that are to come. When you come inside the community, we're going to talk about all the other benefits and perks and things you'll get, but you got to join the community. You have to commit to being there. And once you come in, you will feel the love. You will feel the support. Thank you, my dear people. I pray to God that your day goes well, that your year ends well, and that 2025 is a blessing beyond your imagination. Thank you. May God's peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum.